Hey loves, how are you? Today is going to be a divine feminine support and check-in message. There's been multiple things sort of coming through in the energies for the feminines. But even as I sat down to record this, there was kind of this flip-flop energy. And how that's coming through for me is where the feminines are going through this recalibration process, especially since the eclipse last week. And we spoke about it in the most recent video, how the emotions are sort of flip-flopping as well, from like a grieving process and then into like this excitement about the new and the future and the new timeline that's opened up. It does feel that since 2 days ago, things are definitely more stabilized. Like we've actually landed. And I spoke in that video around being like a freshly potted plant, right? That's been trimmed up and cleaned up and then put into a bigger pot. And that's like the equivalent of us landing on the new timeline. And then, like, the plant has to adjust to its new surroundings that are more appropriate for its next levels of growth. That is exactly what we are experiencing, especially as the feminine collective. This is what I'm feeling. Not that everyone's not going through it, but I do want to home in on the feminines right now because it feels important and significant. And I've been looking and reading your comments. And I know sometimes when we go through these pockets, it can feel in moments like we've gone backwards, or those emotions come up and feeling like, why am I processing this again? Or why do I feel such deep levels of grief and despair and depression after doing so much? And what has been coming through is that we actually are hitting a very deep shared heart space pocket where it's shared between the masculine and feminine collective. So, yes, you are processing this in your heart space, but you may notice how you're going to know some of the tips that might help you realize that this is what's happening. I'm guessing probably many of you already have had this realization, but just for some confirmation for you, you may notice those old memories or old thoughts coming up. You may feel this energy I touched on the other day, like where you're feeling those energies that you felt back at the original soul merge, like kind of the love bubble phase, but then also mixed with where some of the things started to go into like sort of the shutdown phase of your connection and where things moved out of the bubble of phase. So there's kind of like this transitionary energy. And I'm sure many of you can attest during that time when that happens, it's exceedingly confusing, it's scary, it's painful, it's disconcerting because you're feeling like you just literally experienced the most gorgeous thing in your life that you've been praying for and asking for, and it's literally falling apart in front of your eyes. But not really. We know this now. It's literally just that version of it falling apart so that you can actually go through the process of your transformation and the embodiment of your true essence so that you can maintain those and sustain those loving energies in yourself and in your life, in your divine counterpart connections, and in loving partnership, right? And in sacred union on Mother Earth, okay? And what's happening, I'm noticing and feeling and sensing is that in this wave of the collective that I'm connected with here, many of us or you are experiencing those energies simultaneously, but you will also notice that you have very deeply healed and you've stabilized and you're tempered and you're able to process your triggers. So as these old emotions are coming up of the sadness or the fears, or they're actually coming out of your cells at the core, but they're also processing out of that part of the connection. I believe, and I'm being shown that this is actually like exceedingly positive and powerful because this means you have faced enough of your fears and your triggers, and you're strong and stable enough to return back to those states of the bubble of energies. That is unbelievably amazing if you think about it. Some of the ways you're going to know there's differences is that you're experiencing these feelings. And of course, you want those things in your life, but you may notice that you're not dropping into the old ideas of the longing. Like, of course, you may miss your counterpart or want to connect with them. That to me is like a natural, normal experience to have. It's really about the energy that you're in within it. Okay, so again, it's not about those momentary emotions or triggers that come up. It's how you're handling them. How are you holding space for yourself now comparatively back to when you went into a separation phase? How are you supporting yourself, protecting yourself, showing up for yourself differently? Actually, as I'm saying that, I'm feeling guided to encourage you to take some time to actually truly let yourself ponder the levels of growth that you've experienced. And also, as you're doing that, dropping in the results of your energy and essence of who you are now, how you're moving, how you're handling yourself, how you're showing up for yourself, and share those results into that shared heart space. Okay. Ground it in for yourself. This is such a gorgeous way to communicate with your masculine, internally, your own masculine, but also your counterpart, right? Everything is energy, and so you can simply embody these essences into the old patterns, and that shares the results of the new energy and upgrades the connection to where it actually is now. Okay. So when you're going through these processes of having the emotions up in your system, and this is like where we are right now, but I also feel like we're starting to a little bit come out of it, but at the same time it might cycle up a little bit over the next few days and weeks. And this is why I'm talking about it, because we're in a very pivotal and powerful time, okay, where we are stabilizing into the new timeline, but we are also anchoring and stabilizing into the heart space, which is so gorgeous. Like, this is where the results of your internal union are expanding, where they're taking root, where you've planted those seeds of unconditional love into your connection to the earth and into your heart space, and where you've been investing in yourself, in your well-being. Well, loves, those seeds of inner union are sprouting, and this is what you're experiencing to some degree, is you're feeling the energies of, let's say, quote unquote, growing pains in a beautiful way, like where the seeds are popping through the foundation, right? So your overall main essence and energy has just been repotted onto a new timeline, but also at the same time, those other seeds that you've been planting also now have space to grow. Okay. And so I can see it as I'm saying it. I actually literally see seeds sprouting in the heart space where you once walled your heart or iced your heart or ran away or hid yourself or felt those layers of pain. Now, where you're showing up for yourself and caring for yourself, you have created fertile ground within your own heart, and your seeds are sprouting. And this, wow, I can really feel that flourishing energy really coming up. And to me, a few years ago, my higher self told me that it's like moving from surviving to thriving. And then once we hit those points of thriving, it's moving into the flourishing energy. And so I want to acknowledge that this is the foundation that we've been building. We've been building the platform and the foundation to have flourishing energies in our life. The seeds that you've been planting, the standards that you've held for yourself and continue to hold, the way you hold yourself and show up for yourself, loves, that is creating the fertile ground. You're learning and strengthening in allowing yourself to receive as a divine feminine, sacred feminine essence, which is a large part of your presence here on the planet. As the sacred feminines learn how to embody and allow themselves to receive what they deserve, truly, not settling for subpar standards, but truly embodying and showing up for herself, she's signaling to the planet that we are ready to thrive and flourish as a collective on this planet. And no, I understand it's not going to look like that in the world all around us per se. But this is why we're here, loves. We are here as the sacred feminines to bring these essences back home to Mother Earth. She is sacred feminine essence. And as we hold those within ourselves, we are holding it with her, and this supports the entire collective on this planet. So make no doubts about it that the divine sacred feminine essences restoring to their true embodiment and their true power are a very important key to the ascension and the flourishing of humanity on this planet. Not the only one, but a very important one, loves. Your ability to strengthen into who you are and to allow yourself to be planted safely on this planet, holding that space for yourself, sitting and standing in your standards and becoming magnetic and receptive to what is actually in alignment with you and meant for you, loves, this is powerful. And even if you are not in this moment embodying everything that you know that you are intending to, that is perfect. That is okay. None of us are. We're all in this process. We're learning to embody bits and pieces in pockets as we're going along this process. That is the embodiment process. We were not meant to have it all figured out in every single moment. We are here doing it as we're going. We're doing it in the present moment based on what's most important for ourselves and for the collective, what is needed. So I want you to stop and have that perspective on yourself of how incredibly amazing and powerful you are, that you have dropped so much into the present that you're letting yourself get your codes and get your directives in each moment. You've surrendered so deeply to that higher essence that you're actually dropping into that. So if you're not getting every single step that's you're thinking you're needing for the future, or you have these visions that you have for yourself, but it's not quite opening up or taking off right now, loves, that's because it's in process. It's because you're ripening. It's because you're holding sacred space for yourself to flourish. And if it takes a little bit longer to go from surviving to thriving to flourishing, give yourselves that space and grace, my loves, because that nourishment energy that you're providing for yourself is you hold space for yourself to continue your detox process. You are also allowing yourself to glow up in from the inside out. Okay? This is what we are doing. And I want you to notice that as you drop in and holding that space for yourself, once you accept it and understand what's happening, then it actually, believe it or not, starts to move faster. Not because you're forcing or pushing or pressuring, but because you're embodying and you're holding sacred space for yourself because you are a sacred feminine that deserves to be held, that deserves to be nourished and cared for and nurtured. And you're showing that you're ready for that because you're doing it for yourselves. I'm getting a little choked up, but it's not fully coming. So, but if it comes, you know I'm going to sit with you in it. It's reminding me of the message that I did about the eclipse corridor. I feel like we're picking back up on that stream of that blossoming energy. I'm going to drop that video in the comments for you if you want to check that out or connect with the stream of essence that was in that, because it was a very beautiful energy and I channeled sort of a meditation support energy in that if you want to partake in that. I'm feeling some really amazingly gorgeous energies coming through. I will tell you guys real quick, I do have sessions next week and I have the group for the Sacred Circle of Love coming up May 1st. I have not been talking a lot about those because they're definitely like deeply in this new creation process, but there are a couple things bubbling for the Sacred Circle of Love. And part of what I'm guided to share and hold in that group coming up on May 1st is actually strengthening into our own pillar of energy and also strengthening into trusting this process. These messages that have been coming through feel so important in the sense that, yes, we're still sometimes going up and down on the roller coaster, and sometimes it's still feeling uncomfortable, but that in no means you've done anything wrong, that you're going backwards, or that we haven't done good enough. If you're really dropping into the truth within your energetic system, you will find, I'm pretty sure, you can let me know in the comments if this feels correct to you, that you truly are dropping deeper into clearing out those levels of pain and grief and sadness and core wound energies, because you are reaching deeper into your inner union states and more fully embodying more and more of your own true love. And this realization and allowing yourself to accept and shift that mindset and that self talk, when those moments come in where you feel like you're going backwards, come up with something that says, oh, you know what? No, I'm not going backwards. I'm strengthening into these next layers because I'm strong enough to drop in who I am now into the old painful pockets so that they can clear out of my subconscious. I'm so strong now. I have the ability to drop my own love into the old pockets of pain. And I want you to see and feel and sense what that shifts in you, how you look at yourself, how you feel about yourself. And as you do that for you, I want you to notice how you're able to look at others in those same eyes with new, fresh perspectives. All right, loves. Now, obviously, you don't have to do anything I'm saying, but I'm hoping that on some level, this feels correct to you and feels supportive to your heart and your soul, and allowing your love. I feel this high heart energy opening up, allowing that high heart and your voice and your expression to expand within you for you. And as you let yourself fill with that essence, allow it to overflow into your lower chakras, into the earth. Allow it to sink in and stabilize and anchor deeper and deeper. Each and every time you go through an uncomfortable pocket, you're building that muscle. You're building that muscle. And I want you to acknowledge, even in the moments where you might feel that you're weaker, for those brief moments, you're allowing the weakness to come up and out because you are so strong now to drop that in. Okay. This is physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, financial, relationships, homes, environment. You are strengthening into all of those areas. Even if you're not focused on each one of those right now, that's okay. You focus where you're being called to focus. You be present with whatever is up for you and love yourself through every single second of it. All right, loves. I'm going to get you one final message. I was called to pull out the Shaman Dream deck for the feminines, which is usually how the masculines come through. So let's see what wants to come through. Beautiful. In the hand, the universe is your partner. And I feel like this is the sacred and divine masculine energies internally and externally and universally acknowledging that you, your heart is in your hands. Your connection, the heart of your connection, is within your grasp of your internal union. Allowing yourself to hold yourself, all of who you are, all of this gorgeous light energy, allowing it to be supported by the universe, by your highest self, and allowing it to come down onto the earth. Remember, I said holding yourself, loves? This is making me feel like this is like that higher, gorgeous, beautiful, divine, feminine, sacred essence being held by this gorgeous energy. It feels like I'm feeling multiple layers with this hand. Yes, it feels like the earth. It feels like creator, source, divine masculine energies. And it's also giving me like those overall energies, but it's also like your own energy, loves. This is your lower chakras stabilized into the earth. So strong, so stable, so present, so able to hold yourself that it's now safe for your full true essence to come home. And what I feel is this energy lands in the palm of the hand, is activating that space in the heart and that depth of where the sacred feminines are coming into these deeper layers of internal union. I do feel strongly that this is bringing in the sacred union partnerships as we move through the next days, weeks, months, and years. I can feel it in the essence. I can feel it in the energy as I speak to you inside of me, in these messages in you, and I can feel the presence stabilizing and strengthening onto our planet. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to drop that. Again, I'm going to drop that video from the eclipse corridor because there's some beautiful energies in there. And I'll also drop in the sacred circle of love in my schedule in the pinned comment. I would love to hear from you as always. And as always, I appreciate your presence here with me so very much. I love you and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and that these messages were supportive and helpful for you. I love you. Bye.